In today's video, we will be looking at Histogram. Well, why Histogram? Because when you see a boss, chances are you don't know how to act in front of the boss, what to do to impress the boss. So similarly, in an exam, when the students see a histogram question, they often don't know where to start or how to tackle them, or what is exactly the histogram question or Histogram question is asking. So in this video, we'll first be looking at the formula of the histogram, and then we'll learn how to draw it, how to interpret it, and then we'll also learn the other sort of spin-off question from histogram, namely the mean and the median and IQR. Now for the median IQR, it is a grade 9 topic, a sort of a grade 9 skill. So grade 9 alert in here. Now to estimate the mean, you've actually done it before, but in a different video and different topic, which we'll go through in a bit. So histogram in a nutshell is just a glorified bar chart. Bar chart, the area doesn't tell you anything, but histogram it does. So first of all, histogram have no gaps between bars. The vertical axis represent frequency density. Horizontal axis represent class interval, and the area represent frequency. So when you see the question asking how many something or how much the how many means they're asking for frequency. When they ask you for frequency, look out for the area. So the formula histogram is frequency equals the frequency density times class width. Apologize for the color of the highlighter. It's a very poor choice of mine. I'm sorry. It should be a nice yellow. So frequency equals frequency density times class width. Some people like to also use the triangle where they put frequency on top and then frequency density and class width like this. Depends how you want to learn it. It doesn't really matter which way you learn it. To estimate mean, we're going to create an MF column. So MF means midpoint times frequency. M stands for midpoint, frequency. F stands for frequency. Midpoint times frequency, MF. And to estimate the median or IQR, we're going to create a CF, cumulative frequency. Example, we're given a table about mass and frequency, so we're asked to draw a histogram to represent the table. Now with histogram, what we need is, if you remember the formula, we need frequency density, we need frequency, and also we need the class width. Now first of all, we have the frequency, so in the frequency and the frequency triangle, we've got the frequency, we've got the class width. What we don't have is the frequency density. Therefore, we're going to work out the frequency density. So what's class width, by the way? Class width we kind of have, but we don't have. We have to work it out. Class width is the width of each class. For example, the first one, between 6 to 10, the class width will be 4. And the class width for the second one, 12, between 10 and 12, will be 2. Next one, 60 minus 12 will be 4, 4, and 5. So that's the class width. So to work out frequency density, that will be frequency divided by frequency divided by class width. So frequency density equals frequency divided by class width. So frequency is 8 divided by class width, 8 divided by 4, that will be 2. 18 divided by 2, that will be 9, that will be 7, 4, and 2. So next thing we need to do is on the horizontal axis of the histogram. If you forgot what the horizontal axis represents, it represents the class interval. So in other words, we need to scale it from 0 all the way to 25. So you can sort of count the big square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 big squares from 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. So that's a class width. And we can put a mass kg in here. And vertical axis is the frequency density, not frequency, it's a frequency density. So we're going to use the new column that we created for FD, frequency density. So when you use the column from 2 all the way to 9, so I think a sensible way to do it is probably make this as 5 and make this as 10. So that means maybe every 2 squares is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So frequency density. Right, so once we've set up our vertical axis and horizontal axis, then we can start to plot it. So the first class is from 6 to 10 and frequency density of 2. Remember, we're not looking at frequency, we look at frequency density. So it's 2. So we use from 6. So 6 is here. 6 is here. 6 to 10. So that means 6 with frequency density 2, like this. And then all the way to 10. And come down. So that's the bar for the first class. Second class, from 10 to 12, the frequency density is 9. So from 10 to 12, first of all, let me label 12. 12 is here. And I need to go density as up to 9. So up to 9. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you is to make sure you use a pencil in the exam for frequency density, because once you mess up, it's quite hard to erase it. And it's quite easy to make mistake as well. So up to here and ruler, of course. Next one, from 12 to 16 is 7. 12 to 16 is 7. So that's 15, that's 16. So that's 16 in here. And then we have from 16 to 20 is 4. 16 to 20 is 4. And from 20 to 25 is 2. Now, a lot of students will make mistake which they use the frequency column instead. So do not fall into that trap. So that's the end. So that's the histogram. Part B. Estimate the number of plants. The number of plants in the frequency triangle. Which component are they asking about? Number of plants. I sort of gave it out a little bit. It's the frequency they're asking. So frequency. So how do we work out frequency again? To work out frequency, we want to work out the area. Frequency means the area. So I want to work out the area of mass which is less than 11 kilograms. So first of all, we need to find 11 kilograms. 11 kilograms is here. So that's 11 kilograms. That's 11. So essentially, they want us to work on the area that is less than 11. So that means all this area in front of them. So we just have to work on the area. So length times width. The first rectangle has a length of 4 and a width of 2. So 4 times 2. The second rectangle, the half rectangle in here, the width is 1. The length is 9. So plus 1 times 9. So 8 plus 9, 17. So 17 frequencies, 17 lots of whatever. And part C, estimate number of plants, again frequency, that is greater than 18 kilograms. So greater than 18 kilograms. So we need to put like 18, 16, 17, that's 18 in here. So that's 18. And they want us to find the area that's greater than 18. That means we want to find the area of all these rectangles combined. So essentially, the first rectangle, half rectangle in here is 2 times 4. The second rectangle is 5 times 2. So 8 plus 10 is 18. And that's done. So here comes practice question 1. Pause the video, have a go at the question. When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. So here are the answers. So check your answers. Don't forget, when you have a frequency that more than 2 bars, could be more than 3 bars, you have to add all the previous areas altogether. So this is practice question 2. Again, have a go at the question, create a histogram and answer the questions to B and C. And when you're ready for the answer, you can press play. So here are the answers for the question number 2. For part B, you'll be thinking, why can we have 17.5 items? Well, you can't have, but because these are just for statistical purpose. So when people see, okay, it's not 17, it's not 18, it just gives people an idea how many estimations. So it could be a decimal. So when you say estimation, it could be a decimal. So next example, this time we're given part of a histogram. Another quite common question, that a common type of question exam like to ask, where they give you part of the histogram and give you part of the table, frequency table, and ask you to use information to supplement each other to fill up the gaps. So histogram shows the distribution of time taken to gobble 400 burgers by me. Well, in my defense, I did not gobble 400 burgers in one day. Right, so here we are given a table and we're given histogram. So again, as I said, we need to supplement each other for the information. So first one has been done for you. From 24 to 26, its frequency is 50, which makes sense because if you look at here, the class width is 2 or the length is 2. The width is 25, so 2 times 25 does give us 50. So to work out the frequency, remember frequency means the area. So it means the area. So to work out between 26 and 27, we need to work out the area. So it's 1 times 50, so it's 50. From 27 to 28 is 1 times 60, so that's 60. From 28 to 31, the width is 3 and the height is, or the length is 40, so 3 times 40 is 120. And part B, on the histogram above, or on the side in here, draw the histogram bar for 31 to 37 interval. So the frequency is 120, so we do need to work out the frequency density. So part B, the frequency density is the frequency, 120 divided by class width, from 31 to 37 is 6, so that's 20. So that means I need to draw a bar of 20 with here. So up to 37, and that will be my answer. Make sure you use a ruler. Right, part C, estimate the mean. So if you forgot how do we calculate mean, so look at the notes again. To work out the mean, we need to create an MF column. So we need to create an MF column. So MF means midpoint times frequency. So midpoint is, let me use a different color for question B, so I'll use orange. So MF means midpoint times frequency. Midpoint in here 24, 26, 25. The midpoint between 26 and 27 is 26.5. 27.5. Now you need to calculate for all of these calculations. Between 28 and 31 is 29.5. 31 to 37 is 34. Now, if you don't know how to work out the midpoint quickly, you simply add them up and halve it. For example, to work out midpoint between 31 to 37, you add them up. 31 plus 37, 68, and then halve it, that's 34. That's how you can do it mentally. But of course, if you've got a calculator, do it that way as well. So to work out MF column, we'll do midpoint 25 times frequency times 50. So that will give us 1,250. The next one will be 26.5 times 50. That will give us 1,325. Next one, 27.5 times 60. That will give us 1,650. And then 3,540 and 4,080. Now make sure in the exam you do it twice. You mean 25 times 50, just put in calculator again, double check your answer. It's quite common students do pinch the number wrong in a calculator. Let alone students, I got fat fingers after eating 400 burgers. Well, not surprised, right? So do try it again to make sure all the numbers are correct. You don't want to make silly mistakes like this. Next, to work out mean, and they could add up all these numbers. So again, after double calculating these numbers, they should be correct, hopefully. Add them up, and you should get 11,845. Again, put in a calculator twice. Do it once, and then clean the calculator, not using a paper, just use the AC button, and then try again. Okay, make sure you get the same answer, and then you would divide by the frequency. Add up the frequency as well, you get 400. So to work out the mean, part C, you do 11,845 divided by 400. So, and you should get 29.6 seconds. That will be your mean. Again, why can you have decimal? Because of the word estimate. Okay. So, yeah. So that's the mean. Now you have done similar question in grouped frequency table before. So this is not about histogram. Histogram helps you to convert the data from a group frequency into a presentable chart for you to maybe to present information in a graphical way. But to work out mean, essentially, you are going to use this table. The histogram doesn't help you with anything. Part D, calculate an estimate for the median. Now, I'm going to show you once. In the next two examples, I'm going to show you how to do median in a more detailed way again. So try listen the first time, and there will be more examples on the median, so don't worry. This, again, is a grade 9 topic or skill. So I will show you, I'll use a different color to do this? Red. Shall I use red? Maybe a bit too offensive. Let's use purple. Right. Part C, estimate the median time. So to work on median, I just copy and paste another table, which make it a bit cleaner for me to use. Again, we don't need the histogram really. It's just a spin-off question from the table. So we're going to use a table. Okay. To find a median, first of all, you need to create, again, look at the notes again. To work on median, what do we need? A CF column. So we'll do that. Okay. So CF column, cumulative frequency. So we start from 50. 50 from plus 50 is 100. 100 plus 60, 160. Plus 120 is 280, plus 120 is 400. Cumulative frequency means running total. So now we can work out the median. So I use the space on the left-hand side to help me work out. So the median, we know the median means the middle number. So there are 400 numbers. So 400 divided by 2 means median is the 200th value. Okay. Now, 200th value, we need to know which class it lies in. So to 200th value, it lies in. Now, between 27 and 28 class, it contains up to 160 numbers, the first 160. Therefore, the 200th value must be contained in the next class, which is the 28 to 31 class. Now, I want you to think about a class like students ranking up from the shortest to tallest. Okay, the shortest being in time in here. If we, let's say, centimeters, if we change the unit to centimeter, it might be easier for you to understand. In this class of 20 to 31, we're saying the shortest student has a height of 28 centimeter. Let's talk about minions, maybe, not human beings, or toddlers, maybe. And then 31 could be, so 31 means the tallest in that class particularly is of height 31 centimeter. So we are working out where's the 200th value, what's the height or what's the value of the 200th value. So in here, what we know is in this class, there are 120 students or members. Why? How do you know 120? Because they come from here. The frequency means how many students are there in a class. So therefore 200 value, which is what we're interested, 200th minus the 120 is 40. That means the 200th value is actually 40th value in this class. So if the whole class has a height of 120 students ranging from 28 to 31 centimeter, then the 40th value lies in here. This is the 40th because it's the 40th inside this class. 40th? Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I mean to take away 160. Sorry, take away 160. My mistake. Why take away 160? Because the previous class has contained up to 160. So if you imagine the first student in this class will be the 161st value all the way up to 280th value. So the 40th member in this class, so 200th value of the median is the same as the 40th in this 120 class, the class of 120. So how do we work out the actual answer then? What we know is we can use sort of a ratio to think about it that way. 40th out of 120 is the same as a third. That's the same as a third from 20 to 31. Remember, this class, they have been ranking from the shortest to tallest in height ranking. So therefore, if you do 28, a third times 31 minus 28, which is a third times 3, that's 1. That means between 28 centimeter, the first member in that class, all the way to the 40th, it has gained 1 centimeters taller. So therefore, the median is 28 plus the 1, which is 29 centimeters. So here comes the next example where we only focus on the median. So I use the same table as the first example. I can't remember the first example or the previous practice, whatever. It doesn't really matter. The histogram, you can see, it does not relate to any of the median stuff we're doing. They just somehow put a median question in the histogram. Well, we know example are a bit evil, aren't they? So again, the first thing we need to do is to make a cumulative frequency column. So we start by doing 8 8 plus 18 is 26, plus 28 is 54, plus 16 is 70, plus 10 is 80. Now, normally in this type of question, you'll be given a calculator, so don't worry, okay? If in a calculator paper, remember, mental maths is dangerous, it's lethal. So whenever you can use a calculator, use it brainlessly, okay? Right, you can trust a calculator more than your brain, trust me. Right, so median. So to work out median, we know the median is there are 80 values, so 80 divided by 2 is the 40th value. So 40th value. Now we're going to follow the same structure of the notes that we did in the previous example. To work out the median, we work out the 80th the value, and then we need to know which class it lies in. So 40th value, it lies in 12 to 16. Why? Because the previous class covers up to 26 members. So in the next class up to 54. That means the 40th must be somewhere in this class. Right, so however, where exactly does this member 40th value place in this class? So we know it's the 40th minus there were 26 in the previous classes, so minus 26, which give you 14th value. So 14th value in this particular class. Now, we rank them again from the shortest to the tallest. The shortest is 12 kilogram, or the lightest in this case, and the heaviest is 16 kilogram. There are 28 members in this class. We're looking at the 14th value. So 14th, which goes in 28 quite nicely. These numbers are made deliberately, so usually it will go quite nicely. So 14th value. So 14th value is a half. So 14 over 28 is a half. A half between 12 to 16, so a half, so let me rewrite next line. Half times 16 minus 12 is 2. That means the distance between 12 kilogram, the first member in the class to 14th, is 2 kilogram. So therefore, the median is 12 plus 2, which is 14 kilogram. The 14 here, nothing to do with the 14th member. Okay. Here comes another question underneath it, another example. Now, if you're confident, if you understand what I've just gone through, I would suggest you pause the video now and have a go at the question first. Try if you're confident. If you're not, if you still want to be a bit sure, you can, of course, listen to my explanation. Okay, so if you want to pause, you can pause now. So here I go. So again, first thing first, I will need to make a cumulative frequency column. So cumulative frequency, start from 10, 23, 41, 57, 65, 70. So what I need to work out is, I need to work out where does the median lie. So median is the 70th divided by 2, which is, not 70th, 70 divided by 2 is 35, or 35th value, pardon my English. So 35th value. So which classes it lies in? So it lies in, so up to 23 is the next one. So it's between 4 to 6. So lies in 4 to 6. Now, in this class, there are only 18 members in the class. 35 is clearly bigger than 18. So of course, what we need to do is we need to work out in what position in these 18 students does the median lie. So 35 is the median. Take away 23 in all the previous classes, minus 23 is the 13th. My bad, I told you, mental maths is dangerous. 12 is a 12th value inside this class, inside the class. So we can draw a little arrow, a figure, a diagram. So we talk about seconds, so 4 seconds in this class is 4 seconds all the way to 6 seconds. How many members? 18 members. So which value does the median lie? The 12th value. So the median is a 12th value. So if you place it, it'll be roughly around here, I would say, because here middle will be 9 members, so 12 will be somewhere here. So we just need to work out what does 12 stand for in between 4 and 6? So 12 out of 18, if I simplify it, will be 2/3. So that means it's 2/3 of the line. So it's 2/3 of between 6 and 4. So 6 minus 4 times 6 minus 4. That will be 4/3 or 1.3 recurring. Again, use a calculator. Therefore, the median, so the 1.3 means the 1.3 seconds we calculated refers from 4 seconds in here, 1.3 recurring, or 4/3 seconds. So therefore the median is 4 plus 1.3 recurring, which is 5.3 recurring seconds. So in this example, we are moving on to interquartile range, which essentially is the same sort of working out compared to median, but this time we're just not working out the middle value. So the working out is the same, but it's just an initial number that we choose differently. So if you're interested, or if you want to have a go at the question first, you can try it. So if not, just listen how I find the upper quartile, and maybe you can work out lower quartile. So find the interquartile range of the frequency table. Again, it's nothing to do with the histogram itself, because all it matters is this table, frequency table. So let's have a go. So first of all, first thing first, same working out, we are going to work up the cumulative frequency. So 8, 26, 54, 70, and 80. So to work out upper quartile means it's a 3/4 of 80, because there are 80 values. So 3/4 of 80 is 20/60th value. So you can see it's just difference. The difference is the previous one here. We are working out the median, which is the 40th value, but here we just work out 60th value. So same thing, we're gonna 60th value. Which class does it lie in? Well, 60th lies in this one, 16. So lies in between 60 to 20. So we do have to work out in this 60th value, which position does this lie inside the class. So 60 minus the previous cumulative frequency minus 54, that's the 6th in the class. So we can draw a little diagram again. The shortest in the class is 16, the tallest is 20. There are 16 members in the class. We are the 6th. The upper quartile is the 6th. So that means it's sort of a little bit above the average. So if that's, think of the middle is 8, we're 6th in somewhere here. So what we need to work out is we need to work out 6/16 as a fraction. So divide by 2, that's 3/8. That means it's 3/8 of 16 to 20. So we can do 3/8 of 20 minus 16. So that would be 1.5. So 1.5. Therefore, the upper quartile is 16, because the short is 16, plus 1.5, which is 17.5. Now you can try the similar method to work out a lower quartile. If you want to have a go at a question, you can pause the video and find a lower quartile. The lower quartile is 1/4 of 80, which is 20th value. The 20th value lies in the second class, because the first class cover up to 8, therefore the second class cover up to, well, the second class cover up to 26, therefore the 20th value is in the second class. So it lies in the 10 to 12 class. Again, we do have to do 20 minus the previous cumulative frequency, 20 minus 8, that's 12 in class. So the class goes from 10 to 12. There are 18 members. We are the 12. So 12, middle is 9, so 12 will be somewhere here. So we do have to work out as a fraction, was 12 out of 18. So 12 out of 18, if you divide by 6, so simplify it, that will be 3, nope, 2/3. Sorry, I told you, mental maths is lethal, it's dangerous. So it's 2/3 of between 12 and 10. That will be 4/3. That's the same as 1.3 recurring. Remember, this will be calculated, so it's fine. So what it means is it's 1.3 after 10. So therefore, the lower quartile is 10 plus 1.3 recurring, which is 11.3 recurring. So ultimately, what it means is the interquartile range is the upper quartile take away lower quartile. So that will be 17.5, which is what we found for upper quartile. Take away lower quartile, 11.3 recurring. And the answer will be around 6.17 kilogram. Hello? Testing. So here comes practice question 3. It's your turn to estimate the median and the interquartile range of the following frequency table. Just to mention, these things that we do, like grade 9 stuff that we do in here, this type of median IQR frequency table, it will be learned again in A-level maths in year 12 statistics, which is called linear interpolation. So again, it will be touched upon again. Anyway, so this time it's your turn. Work out the median and IQR. So if you need help, again, you can go back to the previous video and try to follow step by step. Try to follow the same structure, which I do for every question. And if you see if you can work out the median first, if you can follow a structure for the median, then try to not follow it for the IQR. Try to do it on your own. Let's see if you can get the answer correct. Pause the video now. Have a go at the question. When you're ready for the step-by-step explanation, you can press play. So whether it's median or IQR, we do need the cumulative frequency. So that's the first thing we'll do to 6, 16, 28, 36, and 40. So let's start with median. The median is half the 40. So half the 40, which is the 20th value. Sorry about my writing. 20th value. So 20th value lies in, so that's covered up to 16, lies in here. So it lies in here, so it lies in 70 to 85. Next thing, we need to do 20, subtract the previous cumulative frequency. That means that's 4, that's a fourth in class. So fourth in class, the class go from 70 to 85. There are 12 members inside the group, inside class, not group, class. We need to rank the fourth. So the median is the fourth. Fourth is somewhere here. So we can see in terms of the fraction, it'll be 4 out of 12, which is a third. A third of the difference between the class or the class width. So 85 minus 70 is 15. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So therefore the median. So if you're interested in what we're trying to find 5 in here, 5 means the fourth value here means a difference of 5. So the 5 you find is actually here. So therefore, from 70 to 85, 70 plus 5, that will be 75. That's a median. Oh, well, centimeter. Lower quarter is a quarter of 40, which is a 10th value. So 10th value lies in, well, the second class cover up to 6. Therefore, the lower quartile lies in this third class, lies in 60, between 60 and 70. So you can do a diagram just quickly, 60 and 70. There are 10 members in a class. So we need to work out, one thing I forgot, sorry. We need to work out what's the position in the class. So we have to do 10 value minus 6, which is the fourth in class. There's 10 members in the class. Therefore, we'll do 4 out of 10 times the difference between the class width. So 0.4 times 10, which is 4. Therefore, the lower quartile is 60 plus 4, which is 64 centimeter. We'll do the same for upper quartile. Upper quartile is 3/4 of 40, which is the 30th value. So 30th value lies in the second last class, which is between 85 to 100. So that's lies in 85 to 100. So you can draw that little diagram again. That will be 85 to 100. How many members are there in the class again? There are 8 members. In what position is upper quartile in? We don't know. We can work it out. So it's 30. Take away the previous cumulative frequency, which is second in class. So second in class. So second, quite fun. Second in class. So what we need to do is we do 2 over 8. 2 out of 8, because second in class out of 8 times the difference in the class width. So quarter times 15, that would be 3.75. Therefore, the upper quartile will be 85 plus 3.75, which is 88.75. So ultimately, the final answer for the interquartile range is therefore 88.75, minus 64, which is 24.75 centimeters. Testing. If you're still here for the practice question 4, well done to you. You have survived the hardest part of the chapter of the topic. Next thing is we're going to mix in some exam questions about the table and also mix in some median IQR to finish it off. So in a real exam, you won't be asked so many of these similar questions, that all of them together, because otherwise it will cost you a lot of time and a lot of marks. So they'll usually ask you 1 or 2. Okay, right, so pause the video. Well done to you, first of all. Have a go at the question. When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. Now, you might be wondering, there is no frequency density on the graph. So the first thing you need to work out is the scaling of the frequency density. So how can we work it out? We need to use the table to help us work it out. So between 50 and 60, we're given a frequency. However, the bar is missing, so we can't use it. 60 to 70, again, is missing. However, 80 to 100 is given to you. So frequency is 60. The class width is 20. So we can work out class width first. 10, 10, 10, 10. So frequency, and you're given this time the class width. So to work out the frequency density, so again, FD, and class width. Sorry about my triangle. Looks a bit toppled. So frequency density equals frequency divided by class width. Therefore, the frequency density is going to be 60 divided by 20, which is 3. So if we look across the diagram or the graph, this means this is 3. Now, if we know that it's 3, it's not hard to guess. This will be 2, and that will be 1. Therefore, that will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So with this one, now we can work out the rest. So frequency density, now, so for 40 divided by 10, that will be 4. So we can now use it to help us to draw the missing bars. I know that's part B, but we can do it now. So between 50 and 60, there's a frequency density of 4. So between 40 and 60, let me use a different color to 50 to 60, there's 4. Use a pencil and use a ruler. You can't do in exam, you can't do what I do. Control Z to go undo. So next one, 60 70 is 110 divided by 10. So 110 divided by 10 is 11. So 11, you need to do 11. 670, 11 is there. It has to be quite accurate. Okay, right, so that's it for part B. We do have to finish up a table. So now we know the frequency density scaling now is quite easy to find, because frequency is frequency density times class width, which is essentially the area. So the area for the first bar is 40 times 2, which is 80. Oops, 80. Next one is 10 times 1, 10. This one, width is 10, the length is 6. 6 times 10, 60. Part C, to calculate the mean speed. To calculate mean speed, you will need what we call the MF column. Remember, MF column. So I'm going to use a different color for MF column. MF means midpoint times frequency. So the midpoint of this one is 20, so it'll be 20 times 80, which is 1600. Next one, midpoint is 45, 45 times 10, that will be 450. And then 55 times 10 will be, 55 times 40, 2,200. And next will be 7,150, and then 4,500, and the last one will be 5,400. Now, just don't get tricked. This one, the midpoint is not 85 or 75. Just be careful. The class width is 90, so 90 times 60 is 5,400. To work out the mean, you add up this column, you get 21,300. You also add up the frequency, you should get 360. So therefore, the mean equal to 1300 divided by 360, which is 59.2 miles per hour. We'll give it 3 decimal place, 3 SF. The question didn't say, usually it will say. And then part D, essentially what we just did in the beginning. So I'm going to put a class width because I run out of space on the right hand side. I'll put a class width on the left hand side. Class width. Cumulative frequency. So 80 plus 10, 90, 90 plus 40, 130, 240, 300, and 360. So to work at the median, I'm going to do a half times 360, which is the 180th value. So 180th value lies in here. So we have to do, so it lies in 60 to 70. We have to work out the position in class, so 180, take with the previous cumulative frequency, which is 130, so that's 50th in class. Then we can draw a little diagram. So the class width is 60 to 70. There are how many members in the class? 110. 110 members in the class. We are 50th in the class. So 50 over 110 times the difference. So if you put in a calculator, you get around 4.55. So therefore the median is 60 plus 4.55, which is 64.55 miles per hour. Now, answer median should be somewhere inside the range. Well, 50th sounds like somewhere near the middle of 110. Therefore, the answer should be quite close to the midpoint of 60-70, which is 65. So that's 64.55. Does make sense. E, to find an IQR, is a similar method. Lower quartile is a quarter times 360, which is 90th value. And it lies in. Now 90th value, interesting. 90th is a cumulative frequency. It's an actual answer in there. So what's the value then? Now which number do we choose then? 90th value lies in, it definitely lies in the 40th to 50. Now, I want you to think about this. If we put in a diagram from 40 and 50, how many people, or how many frequency of speed that is less than 40? The answer will be 80, because 80 of speeds of 80 cars actually travel less than 40. That means the 80th value will be here. And the 90th will be very close to the 50. So therefore, the 90th value, if it's a cumulative frequency, that means that's a 50 miles per hour. That's the lower quartile. So you don't have to work out any position in the class, because the 90th is the last person in the class, and we said this class is between 40 and 50. So last person, if they rank from the shortest to the tallest, the 90th will be the tallest inside that class. That will be 50 miles per hour. And F, we have to work out upper quartile as well. So upper quartile will be 3/4 times 360, which is the 270th value. So same old 270 minus the previous cumulative frequency, which is 240. It lies in between 70 to 80. So 270 minus the previous cumulative frequency, that's 30th value, if 30 is in class. So draw a little table, 70 to 80. There are 60 members in the class, so 30th means the half. 30th is the half of it. So 30 over 60 is a half. Half between 70 to 80 is 5. So therefore, the upper quartile is 70 plus 5, which is 75. So wrap up our final answer. Give it a special color. So IQR equals upper quartile minus lower quartile, which will be 75 minus 50. That will be 25 miles per hour. Well done to you if you have survived up to here. And if you got it correct, even better.